Today's webinar on the skill, this is skill, we're on number 7 now, is on forgiveness, which as you look in your handout is clearing out the past. And I have a let's think about it question for you. And the question is, think about your goals. I mean, maybe you're trying to get a general way to grow and a path and a structure, or maybe you've got a goal towards a different career and a better career, or maybe changing careers, or maybe you've got a goal of a personal relationship you want to develop, or maybe something inside you want to be happier or more fulfilled or closer to God or more emotionally healthy or lose weight or whatever. We've all got goals, and goals are good things. But I want you to think for a second about that goal that you have that really is why you're part of this team that's taking this course. And I want you to ask yourself the question, is there anybody that's slowing me down? Is there anybody that's slowing me down? Now, I know the answer is always, well, it's me. Yeah, we know that. We're all our worst enemies and all that. But I'm not really talking about the you right now. I want you to think about people in your life, and they become voices in our lives. They become actually live voices in our heads that can actually, by their impact on us, they can slow us down or even divert us off of the goals we want to reach. And when you think, is there a person or are there persons in your life right now that you're thinking, you know, they've taken some energy out of me. It cost me a lot of time and bandwidth and even money and energy to sort of recover from this person. Or I'm still having arguments in my head about this person and what they did to me and how they treated me and all that. And the reason I'm posing that, I want you to think about that person, sort of bring that person in your mind, is because that is one of the reasons that a major life skill for successful people is to learn how to forgive. Because when we have had bad relationships, parents, family, coaches, teachers, friends, husbands, wives, people in business, we've had bad relationships that damaged us in some way or challenged us in some way in a bad way. It's sort of like you're trying to move this train of growth down your life, and that person comes in and sideswipes that train and puts it off the track, and you got to pick yourself up and put it back together again. So it's kind of funny. You would think, what would forgiveness have to do with a skills training? A lot. This is about getting the energy back and the focus back you need by learning how to clear that person out of your mind in the way that God tells us to do and move on. I was working with a CEO in my leadership coaching program, and it was a woman. And she was very successful, but she found that when she began to go into one of those situations where you've got to not be the nice guy but the tough guy, I mean, she had to have some tough talks with her management team, some tough talks with her clients and her vendors. Very smart person, very connected person, knew her product, knew her strategy, but the tough talks were hard. It was sort of like she'd run along in life and she'd get to that tough talk where you know that person's going to have an attitude towards you, and they're going to, get mad at you, or they're going to think you're being mean, or they're going to shut down, and she would just freeze. She would just freeze, and she couldn't go to the next step of saying, I really want to have a tough talk with you, which every successful person's got to do. I mean, hopefully by now you've been listening to Henry and my material here. You got to be able to have those tough talks to get your goals met. She couldn't do it. Kind of like the wind would go out of her sails.